up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa and our Thanksgiving Eve family service. We are so grateful that you are here with us, whether you're joining us virtually or you're here in person dancing up a storm in our sanctuary. I'm Reverend Russ Laguerre. I'm your assistant minister here at our center. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And this statement from President John F. Kennedy reminds me that the opportunity to practice gratitude is something that is available to me all the time, not only with my friends and my family, not only while observing a spectacular sunset, and not only when experiencing something extraordinary, but right here, right now. Indeed, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, suggests that we practice gratitude as an attitude of mind until it becomes natural and ordinary for us to live it no matter where we are. I'd like to begin this evening's practice of gratitude by saying a heartfelt thank you to our staff, our live stream technicians, our sound technicians, our musicians, our many, many volunteers, and everyone who chose to be here with us tonight and online. Thank you. You are all shining examples of the magnificent power of gratitude. Tonight's opening prayer is by prayer practitioner Tamira Hume, And our musical inspiration is brought to us by Christopher Fritchie and the Center Band, with Atreyu Hanohano and Astra Fox on vocals, Francisco Vivas on keyboard, Brett Palm on bass, Nick Carrico on drums. And our message tonight is from our senior minister, Dr. Edward Viljoen. We have a tradition here at our center of writing down what we aspire to be grateful for 12 months from now. And you're invited to write down 3 things that you wish to celebrate next year, place it in an envelope addressed to yourself, and then add a stamp, and we will mail it to you the same time next year. This practice is a wonderful way to plant seeds of joy into your consciousness. And it's inspiring to receive that letter a year later and to marvel at how those seeds have grown. Now I invite you to please enjoy some music before our opening prayer. Happy Thanksgiving.
As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is, it brings me to my knees. I surrender, I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is, it brings me to my knees. I surrender, I am peace.
One life. One life.
I open to all that is, it brings me to my knees. I surrender, I am peace. I surrender, I am peace.
As we surrender right now to all that there is, the one life, the one Spirit divine flowing through each one, giving of its gifts, filling each heart in this time of appreciation, gratitude, and love. It is the divine flow in each being on this planet and beyond. The power of the cosmos being created was just one of the many powers that exists through this Spirit, and that intelligence is in each of its creations, and it's right here in this moment, right now. I know I am one with it, as is each person right here in this room and well beyond. The same intelligence is in every cell, in each person, every organ, every breath, every step. And I bless this time and this service. And I know, absolutely know, that we walk in the faith that there is a presence and a power greater than we are right here, lifting us up, guiding us, inspiring us. I bless the musicians. I bless our dear Dr. Edward, and I bless our hearts for being open and giving of ourselves of one to another. So with these blessings, I am so very, very grateful, and I lift up this prayer and I surrender it to the one who has already said yes. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Away, 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 away. Sing it with us. Away, 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 away. Huh. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Well, life is gonna change when inside we change. Take the journey to the heart. You are my brother, you are my sister, and none of us can live apart. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Involve yourself in, it's time to begin. For the healing of this earth. Many small steps here, millions of feet now, can carry everybody to rebirth. Oh, we are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Away, 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 away.
So as you take yourself, give back to someone else. All the nations here belong. Tear down illusion, shore up with truth, till you and I, we sing a worldwide song.
We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit. Every woman, every man, every boy and girl. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the world. We are one in the Spirit. Everybody, every soul, everywhere we turn. Away, 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 away.
Thank you very much. Hello, musicians. How wonderful for you to wake us up so beautifully like that. Hello, everyone. Oh, and thank you very much for that opening prayer, Tamara, whom this is her 14th anniversary. Tonight, she walked in at Thanksgiving Eve serve and stayed. Isn't that wonderful? So if you are here for the very first time, you don't know what's waiting for you. In 14 years' time, I'll welcome you back. And the first thing that Tamara said to me when she walked in, she said, "Thank you for the Santa." Like, she thanked me. And I'm thanking her. And it's Thanksgiving Eve. And we've been asking people, why are you so grateful for the Santa? And they've been writing on cards and sending it in to us. Here are a few. I just have to share a few of them with you. RB, I won't say their names. RB said, "The Santa has become the foundation of my connection to the community, both socially and spiritually." SC said, "The Santa has provided me with innumerable insights on how to be my best self as a spiritual being. It has taught me to be conscious of my emotions and how to cope during challenging times." You might find yourself in these comments somewhere. AS said, "The supportive environment at the center has been a pillar of strength for me in difficult times, and I'm deeply thankful for this." MB said, "The center has impacted my life by reminding me of the inner light present in me and in other people." JD said, "The center has been a transformative force in my life. Before joining, I struggled with self-worth. But the tools and teachings here have reshaped my thinking and my perception of myself." James said, "This past year I received loving support from the center during my partner's terminal illness and through her transition in March, and then after through the grief support. Blessed be," she writes. So much to be grateful for. And tomorrow, Thanksgiving is here. I want to say is already here, right? And Christmas is just around the corner. Wow, my goodness. I thought you weren't allowed to put up Christmas lights before Thanksgiving. Is there not some rule? And I had to learn all the rules of the season because, as I always tell everybody endlessly, I didn't grow up here. I grew up in South Africa where we did not have Thanksgiving, nor did we have a wintry tradition of Christmas with dewy eyes and soft lights. No, we were in a summery southern hemisphere atmosphere, beach wear. Think summertime, So I didn't grow up with all the traditions of this season that almost every Northern American is quite familiar with. I had to learn about Thanksgiving and Christmas by watching American-made movies. That's how I learned it. So I will give you a summary of what I learned before I came. Thanksgiving and Christmas, they are about being together and eating. And I learned that the holidays are about family and connections and eating. And I learned that the holidays are about making the journey back to our roots and our home. And yes. And I learned that the holidays are about reproducing, many wonderful traditions that are centered in social activities and some with spiritual overtones and, of course, eating. So when I arrived in the United States, I had great expectations, high expectations for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And don't you know, there is something else about the season that doesn't always make it into the movies. Sometimes. I learned from being in these traditions that for some, the obligations and the expectations of the season can feel overwhelming. And I learned that for some, the emphasis on warm family connections and food, when you don't have them, can leave a person with a sense of incompleteness and loneliness. And I learned that for some, connecting and celebrating and sharing food during a time when there is war in the world and homelessness can feel dissonant. It's a complex time. And I know I felt all of it in those early days, especially when I started to understand the important role that family plays in Thanksgiving, because I had left my family many, many, many thousands of miles away and many, many time zones away. And I didn't have many friends and close associates. And so I started to identify with the people who, for one reason or another, found themselves without family, or too far away from family, or estranged from family, or in disagreement with family, or maybe just financially strapped, or so consumed and disturbed by world events that they couldn't do Thanksgiving the way it was supposed to be done according to the movies and Hallmark cards. Which is why I loved last weekend we had our pre-Thanksgiving gratitude potluck. We made up a new tradition and it had no rules. Just come and share. It was so lovely, and I do want to thank Mitzi Hughes for suggesting a potluck, and Reverend Russ for facilitating it, and Alan for making the announcement sheets, and Linda for facilitating the organization, and William for putting out the chairs, and all the volunteers who brought food and then cleaned up afterwards. Oh, we're definitely going to do that again next year. We're going to make a tradition out of it and we'll try to find some way to include guilt too. Before I came to Santa Rosa some 30 years ago, I would dread the holiday season for the loneliness that I knew was coming. I was quite bitter about it. And then one day I made my way into my very first Center for Spiritual Living, just like this, where I heard something that changed everything. The minister said something that went right into my heart and stayed there all the time till today. In fact, I say it every week when I'm here. You might know it. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, inspired, and sustained by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. And then it went on. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And I was changed when I heard that. I felt like I had found my tribe. I found my people. And I had that experience that I hear so many people say they have when they walk in here. I felt like I had come home. Here's some more quotes from people who say what they love about the center. MD says, "What I learned here has kept me sane for the past 20 years. VM says, "My life transformed and blossomed after I joined the center." HF says, "The center is a place of rest and balance in my life. It expands my world." I love this line. "It simultaneously gets me out of my head and supports my thoughts at the same time." PL says, "The center keeps me grounded and aware of the suffering that is in the world, while at the same time illuminating my understanding of the path that can unite us all in peace." HD says, "In recent challenging times, the center has reminded me of the widespread struggle to maintain confidence in goodness, and it has been a source of inspiration to me so I can sustain hope, especially now with ongoing conflicts like the war in Gaza, as it reinforces in me my commitment to our vision of a world that works just a little bit better for everyone." So back to my experience in that first center when that minister said, "Know with me that you are never alone." I said a change took place. And the change that took place in me was the change in how I thought about the divine. Just like one community member wrote in, these are his words, "The center opened my eyes to a new perspective on the divine and on religion, which I have joyfully integrated into my life." And that was my experience. That happened for me too. Because you see, growing up, I had been so disappointed by my youthful idea of God. A God who did not protect me from the bullies in school who hated me for being gay. A God who did not spare the indigenous people of South Africa from racism and colonization. A God who did not save my brother from excruciatingly painful and intense seizures and an early death. I didn't want anything to do with that God. And yet, I knew that there was something more to my life, something larger than me that was calling me to be discovered. And so when I heard the minister say, "You have only to look within at any moment," something clicked into place and started to make sense. Just like that moment in The Wizard of Oz, when the good witch, Glinda, says to Dorothy, "You've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it yourself." Didn't you want to scream out at her, "Why didn't you say so?" And so the center said so to me in a way that I could hear. And I learned to look in where the presence had always been. And I didn't know. Oh, that idea of looking within at any moment, it was revolutionary for me. The idea that there's a creative power within me that I can use, it woke up in the center of my thinking, and I felt it in my body. And from that moment on, I stopped begging for help. And I started trying as best as I'm able to be helpful. I stopped as best as I was able to. I stopped thinking of other people as the source of meaning in my life. And I started, and I'm still trying as best as I can to bring meaning to life and to bring beauty to the world as best as I am able. Oh, what a change. A change to realize that this creative power within, I have some agency and that I could use it. I could use it to do good or to do bad, or I could use it to do something or to do nothing. Oh, the freedom. Right now I'm thinking of a little book. The title is relevant. It says, "If it's meant to be, it's up to me." That started to emerge in my thinking. Oh, what a change to look within for creativity and for meaning, for the inspiration to be kind. It was new and refreshing because up until then I was not looking within. I was looking everywhere else. I know I was looking to the holidays to give me a sense of meaning. I know I was looking to what family and friends I had and didn't have to give me a sense of belonging. And I was blaming everyone and everything out there because of the depth of the sadness and the loneliness that I felt. And in reality, some of the world out there did play a part, but the new awareness for me was that I too played a part in how I was experiencing the world. And so when I started to look within, when I was really honest with myself, I could see that I was using the creative power that life is in me just like it is in you. I was using it in some self-sabotaging ways. When I really got honest, I could see that I had some bad behaviors and bad attitudes of mine that were setting me up to be miserable and in conflict no matter what season it was. Now, I'm not saying this is true of you, but maybe you might feel you have this one thing in common with me, and it's something that comes into sharp focus for me during the holidays, and it's this. I can get very upset when life and people do not behave exactly the way I want them to. Now, this is where the teaching of the center has been tremendously helpful for me. Now, look, it's not a cure for everything, but oh my goodness, when I took that to heart, Edward, take a breath and look within at any moment. So, even now, like I did then, when I'm feeling like I don't have any friends, for example, I take a breath and I look within and I ask myself, are you being a good friend? Oh, so when I feel down because I don't have the kind of love or in the way that I wanted in my life, I take a breath and look within and ask, am I sharing my love with the world in a way that is safe and sane and healthy and mutually nourishing? When I feel all alone in the world, cut off and separate, I look within and ask, Edward, are you showing up and connecting in places in the world where there are healthy, where there's a healthy community of like-minded people who support healthy habits? Are you? When I start to get that old, ancient sense that my life isn't enough, that I am not enough, I take a breath and I look within and I ask myself, are you treating other people as if their lives are important and as if they matter? And just that line of inquiry, once it started so long ago, it changed everything. Again, it's not a cure for everything. It doesn't address social justice, injustice. But oh my goodness, for me, it was the start of a journey of personal realization that there is a power in me, my dear, that's always been there. And that when we learn to use it for good and wholesome purposes, that's when the infinite potential of life starts to reveal itself. And that's when becomes more apparent that every single one of us has a gift and a role to play that is not dependent on the season or on friends, or the friends we don't have, or on money or status or gender or religion or anything, but that gift depends completely and utterly on what lives inside. That's why we say at the end, just the way that you are, and just the way that you are not, you have still got a role to play and a gift to give. Now I'm thinking of the Janice Stanfield song that says, we may not be able to do all the good the world needs now, but the world needs all the good that we can do. That's why we want to get in tune with the power and the presence within. Or the words that are sometimes attributed to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. All of this sentiment, when it's tuned into the self within, it comes forward in a more beautiful way. And there is one more important thing to know about. To really feel that you are never alone, you have to spend some time being alone. That's what we teach, isn't it? That if you and I want to consciously connect with the presence within, we might have to shut up. Or at least slow down. Or at least be still, because otherwise we may not be able to hear its compassionate, clear, calm guidance, because it's not rude. We might have to simmer down. But you know, I didn't always know how to be quiet. I didn't know how. I had a very busy mind. I still do. And I would get frustrated and impatient when I tried to force my thoughts to be still and to quiet my mind, and it just got worse. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Then somebody pointed out to me that the word alone is very similar to the phrase all, A-L-L, one, O-N-E. And to think of being alone as being one with all. And since that moment, when I think of being alone, I don't think of separating myself out from the world. I think of doing those things that make me feel my oneness with all, whether that is to be in nature alone for a while, or to cook a meal for others by myself, or to take a walk with no one else, or to read a book to expand my mind, or to tidy up something, to bring order into the world. I do that. And that's when it becomes clear to me that the whole idea of spending time alone is so that we can be better and more consciously connected with the presence within and live for it so that more of it comes through us when we are together. So my invitation to you for this holiday season is this: number one, take a moment to be alone with yourself and the presence within, however that looks for you, so that you can bring your best spiritual self to wherever it is you're going tomorrow. Number two, throughout the day, pause frequently and take a breath and look within with curiosity and kindness and compassion and ask yourself, what would the presence within me want to do or say or think right now? And finally, if it's appropriate and welcomed, why not share that benediction that we use here? And if that seems appropriate to you, we've printed up copies of it for you that you can pick up on the way out from the ushers and also at the information table to take with you to wherever it is you are going tomorrow to read if you choose. Now, you heard that we have a tradition here of visualizing what it is we want to be grateful for in 12 months' time. So that gives us a moment of spiritual practice to prepare for it. If you did not get a card on the way in, you can get them on the way out. And it says, my Thanksgiving intention for 2024. And then you fill it in over here, as you heard Reverend Russ say. Put a stamp there if you have one. Address it to yourself. We'll keep it here so that the intentions, so to speak, are percolating. And then when they arrive in your mailbox, you will have a delightful time. Do you know, every time mine arrives, I don't recognize my own handwriting. I say, what is this delightful card? And then I go, oh, I wanted that? It's a fun practice. So I invite you to take a breath in with me like this. And as you exhale, if it feels comfortable to do so, let your eyes close, but you can do it with your eyes open also. And let your mind travel back with me to 12 months ago on Thanksgiving. Wow. And then moving through the year, the past 12 months, landing on those moments that caused your heart to open with gratitude. If you can't identify anything specific, just think of things that you were pleased with. Think of people in your life that you're grateful for that perhaps were there for you. Or perhaps think of places that caused you to feel comfortable or inspired, or music that you heard or art that you saw. Whatever touched your heart center and opened it up with gratitude. Sometimes I forget the ordinary things, like my blanket that I meditate with. Or perhaps like someone said to me, oh, there's this piece of art in my home. Every time I look at it, my heart opens with gratitude. So just scan your life for things that opened your heart. And I'm certain there must be a long and growing list of things to be grateful for. But for now, riding on the wave of that appreciation, land in this moment and then begin using your beautiful imagination to move forward in time. And using that imagination, see yourself 12 months from here, looking back in time, celebrating what you have been grateful for. And this where the imagination comes in, right here. What is it you would like to be celebrating this time next year? If you can't think of a specific outcome, perhaps you can think of an experience you'd like to be having. I'd like to be grateful for more joy in my life. I plan to be more grateful for more connections in my life. I'm opening to be grateful for, and then whatever it is, just allow that playful center in you to come up with something. And then as that comes clear to you, feel free to make notes on your card, or if you didn't get a card yet, just remember to pick up one on the way out. And you may also want to take your card out and write more mindfully. Take some time to complete it. And you can bring that back to the center whenever you're done. And so now, resting in this awareness of the creative power that is in us, I invite you now to let all things be for a moment so that we can be united in spiritual practice. Following on the opening prayer, let us recognize together that center of creation that is the source of all things, that is everywhere present, that is eternal and has not been made and cannot be destroyed. That which is present in all times and spaces and all dimensions, that is the ground of all being and the source of all that is. That which is the living spirit, the mind that creates. That which is eternally present everywhere. And I take that to mean right here where I am and where we are. And I take that into my heart so that I can understand that there is nowhere that I can go where I can step outside of the presence of this creative power. And I take that to mean that everything about me is creative. And so I realize in this moment, along with everyone, that even this act of using my imagination, even this act of expressing gratitude, even this act of singing is part of the creative process unfolding. And I resolve today to use my creative power more mindfully, more beautifully, so that I may take my place among the community of beings as a channel for that presence that is within, that always has been. And so it, as the author of all creation in me, is the author of my creativity. It, as the eternal presence within me, is that which endures and remains. And so as I dwell upon these words, I am filled up with a sense of dignity and love and connection. And I let my heart open up even further to let in appreciation for every good and every small and gigantic thing in my life that has blessed me. And from that fullness, from the overflow of it, I resolve to share and to spread the light that is in me. And I release this word then into that aspect of the divine that we call the law, as we heard in the opening prayer, that says yes to us, so that I may move into an attitude of trust and acceptance that something has been set in motion. And we seal that by saying together, and so it is. And again, I invite you to breathe in and to sigh. And then with another breath, I invite you to let your awareness return to the activity of the room as we make the transition to our offering time. Thank you for being here. It is always a delight to be here on Thanksgiving Eve. And thank you for supporting your center. I know traditionally Thanksgiving time is a time of receiving, and I want to make sure you know we never take your gifts for granted. The staff and I and the leadership are so moved and touched not only by the gifts that you send in and give, but the words of affirmation and appreciation. So many of you are rooting for us in this time post-pandemic when many of our centers are struggling to reopen. And so we hear these words of support and appreciation, and I tell you, it's cliched, but you're the wind beneath our wings. It's the truth. So thank you for being there. And I know that some of you have let me know, we may not be here in physical form, but we are here in spirit through the glory and power of the internet. And I thank you for letting us know. Please keep on telling us that you're there, because it helps us to have the fortitude to keep on keeping on. Now, I'm going to ask the ushers to stand while you prepare your gift. You may know that there are several ways for you to give. Text to give, or giving through one of the ways that are available on our website, or through this ceremony right here in the sanctuary. So prepare your gift while saying with me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Last time, let's hear ya.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Oh, thank you very much for you. Your voices blend so beautifully, and that band. Oh my goodness. You should talk to some of them afterwards. Some of them have their own Instagram channels where they're doing amazing things in the world. So think about that. Grab them. They're very shy. They are. They're introverts. There are baskets on the way out for you to drop your cards in on your way out, or you can take it home and bring it back to the center. Like you could bring it back this Sunday. I'm going to be here this Sunday. I'm going to be speaking. And coincidentally, the topic on Sunday is, oh my. Like, remember the Wizard of Oz? Lions and tigers and bears? Oh my. We've been talking about the sacred, the profane, and the mundane. And next Sunday is, oh my. Yeah. So it's the I don't know what I'm going to say. But I might start with oh my. We'll do reflections of the Wizard of Oz. I have no idea. Thank you again for being here, and it is time to close our service with our benediction. So won't you please stand saying, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. And let us close in song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.